Hello viewers, I'm Red2006 and I'm very pleased to have you join me for the latest episode of A Link to the Past Randomizer. As a quick recap, in the last episode, I got mail and became shiny Bronzor. I put another mirror to very good use, and I didn't quite dig the reward from Moldorm. I'm back at Hyrule Castle now, ready to enter the sewers. So, after our little archaeological dig proved fairly fruitless, about the only place I can think of off the top of my head is the secret passage in the castle. I can't get as far as I'd like in the Dark Palace, and some of the other dungeons I can't access. So let's switch to the lamp so we can get a good idea of where we're headed. Keep in mind though, the torchlight only works for the current floor. I can get to this chest without needing a key. This is the only chest along the way, and it contains the fire rod. So that tells us where we're going next. Just what we needed, really. I have the blue mail. I was almost going to say green because Bronzor is green. And a fair bit of health plus some healing items. I don't have double magic, so it will be a bit tougher getting through the dungeon. But then again, my sword is a very good substitute. Of course, the fact I can't do damage with the golden sword due to the coating of the spikes, as I mentioned earlier, does prove a little problematic. Still, the hammer works, so I think I should be fine. Now, you will probably recall in the last episode, I said I think I'll be fine against Moldorm, and I still fell off twice. Thankfully, we can take a few shortcuts in here. We've dealt with most of the dungeon. And that thing I just got hurt by, I think I mentioned earlier along the way, that's the picket. I think they actually called like-likes in the Japanese version, but they will steal things if their tongue hits you. Unfortunately, I do have the option to clear some rooms fairly quickly. The Bombos medallion is a godsend. If you get it and a sword early, you can wipe out enemies. You're not going to need to go into that room either. That's just a trap room with absolutely nothing of value. So as I said, you can save the key that would lead to the room where you got the first chest I showed you, and you can save a key there. And somehow I managed to not set it on fire. I'll have to do a little bit of sneaky navigating, head to the right twice, then around to the left. Whoops. Now you might be wondering why I didn't use the magic powder. It's because I'm an idiot. We'll head through here, and I will also have to go and see King Zora at some point. We have enough money that getting conned by him won't really matter that much. There we go. On we go. There is a Wallmaster in here, so be careful. And I just proved my point. Was thinking it would fall a little earlier, to be honest. At least it means I can get more health pickups. Bait it. Kill it in spite. Back to full. Actually, I'm not sure if there is much point using the spin attack with the golden sword because I don't know if there is a higher level of damage. Usually enemies just take damage as if you were using a regular sword swing. Probably range, but that's about it. Interestingly, Wallmasters become useful in A Link Between Worlds. When the sky... Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Okay, back here. As I was saying, in Skull Woods, in A Link Between Worlds, I believe that I think it's Skull Woods anyway, but you actually have to use Wallmasters creatively. You can provoke them into hitting switches for you. This also appears in Laurel Castle at the end of the game. So let's quickly light these torches. Switch to the fire rod for the long distance shot. And if you need health, use the magic powder on that. Otherwise, just cut through there. And I am not going to waste my magic. Because I will need every last skerrick of it to fight Moldor. Not Moldor, Mothula, they're both annoying. Like Moldor though, Mothula is fairly easy to deal with if you fight him in a different arena. The spikes make everything very frustrating. Because no matter what level your armor is, you're always taking 1 heart's worth of damage, and I'm missing Spectator. Okay, I think I have to rely on the hammer now. Okay, what was I worried about? Yay, we got bombs! And we'll see which crystal we have. It's the second one. So what I'm going to do here is quickly warp back to the light world. Somehow I didn't manage to get myself stuck. This should be our next destination. Whatever King Zora has, I presume is going to be useful because we're a bit stuck. Of course, it's probably going to be like 20 rupees and I'm going to look stupid. But there is one more item up here I can get. I should have checked it early on when I did get the flippers. Alrighty, here we go. So, the item in question is money. That's actually pretty good because if he stooges us, we get a refund. And I can swim, what am I worrying for? You can justify the cost of the flippers. Most of the time you won't be able to justify whatever crap he foists on you. And the moment of truth. That is sort of useful. That is actually not that useful. It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse, but it is still not useful. So... well, I can't get into the Desert Palace. Done what I can in the Tower of Error. I can't get into the Swamp Palace. Well, I actually can get into the Swamp Palace. Alright, I can't walk here. I can't proceed through most of the Swamp Palace without the hookshot. But it's entirely possible that I may have to go there before getting it. Because I only need the big key for the chest. So let's stop by our house, which is not in the middle of our street. As it happens, it's just sort of there on its own. I sincerely hope somebody actually does get the reference. It is a bit of a problem of mine. I'll bring up a whole lot of obscure references because my interests tend to be very, very different from everyone else's. It's like talking another language entirely. My friends will usually discuss all sorts of topics about things they do, anime they're into, games they play, and I'm just sort of nodding and pretending I'm understanding, really. A little unfortunate. It does make me feel a bit left out, but at the same time, I do enjoy what I'm involved with, and I don't feel too much pressure to fit in. And yes, I admit there's probably going to be some sort of smart aleck who's gone, wait, you have friends? Probably a stock reply, so. Now, coming back to what I said in the first episode. Flood that channel. Do not leave that screen outside. Instead, go back into the Dark World. And voila, it's drained, and we can get into the palace. I do have one key, and that's the only key I need to get from the randomizer seat. The rest are found in pots. Okay. Well, we can still get a few things. For example, bomb this and you'll be able to find something. That's all. The first one hit me dead on. I mean, dead on the shield. Okay, compass. For a dungeon I've already cleared. Not looking promising. It's like a puzzle. Some of them are a little bit tougher to sort out than others, but you get a fair bit of satisfaction once you have got it all organised. Okay, now you see those turrets? Don't swing your sword unnecessarily around them. They will shoot out fireballs at the closest direction to you. Don't go up the wrong stairs either. If you hold your sword for a spin attack around those turrets, that's the best word I've got for them, they will continuously spit fireballs. You can at least block them if you have the red shield, but it's just a bit annoying because if you're thoughtlessly trying to attack an enemy, your shield will probably be out of the way and you'll get hurt. Okay, no need to bomb that cracked wall because you won't find anything important. Just swim around here. You can get to that key if you have the hook shot, and you will need it. But we can go down here. I admit I have a tendency to forget about this room sometimes. Because I've been so busy doing the randomizers, I've almost gone, oh wait a minute, that room's actually here? I don't remember it from a normal run. But that happens to you sometimes. Push this. Well, we've got plenty of compasses. How many do we have? Fair enough. We are not going to get lost anytime soon. 7 out of 11, I believe. So you want to head this way too. Alright, demonstration of those turrets. Much easier to kill the Stalfos by throwing a pot at them, and that time I was actually accurate. Small cause for celebration. Grab this key as fast as you can. Wait for that to get out of the way. And head back to the upper corner where there's a locked door. Interestingly, the Swamp Palace isn't very difficult to navigate for being the series' first water dungeon. You don't have to worry too much about raising and lowering water levels repeatedly. Why am I sword bent? There we go. It's actually pretty forgiving as far as they go, unlike the unnecessarily complex water temple. The Great Bay Temple is considered equally fiddly, and the Lake Bed Temple, from what I remember, it was just long. Annoyingly long. There is something of a reputation that water dungeons are a little bit dreary, but this one's definitely not too bad. The Ancient Cistern also gets points for being a very beautifully designed water dungeon that isn't frustrating and pays homage to a Buddhist parable on top of that. There's no need to go up there, you don't need to get a key, you just need to push these blocks. And then you drop either side of that channel in this upper room. If you already have the hook shot as a result of the randomizer, then you'll be able to hook shot across to the other chest. I think I'm getting a little busy talking and not paying attention to my surroundings as well as I should. That's on me though. Alright, what else are we going to find? Getting that is fortunate because it does allow us one more item, and that might be the difference. Oh yes, it's also worth noting, when you are falling down a gap like that, your hitbox remains the same even though your sprite shrinks. So if you're near an edge and an enemy comes and tries to attack where you would have been, even though you are falling, you will still take damage. It's a bit cheap. Okay, Titan's Mitt. A lot more has opened up to us. I will quickly grab the item in the big chest, and then we can head out of here. There's usually been something, either a bracelet or a glove, that has helped Link lift things. First appeared as an optional item in the original Legend of Zelda. You had the glove in Zelda 2, which allows him to break blocks with his sword attacks. And you've had the power glove in the Titan's Mid here. There was a power bracelet in Link's Awakening. We got a mushroom. And then you had the silver and golden gauntlets, which the golden gauntlets weren't that useful in Ocarina of Time. And the Goron's bracelet. I don't think Majora's Mask had any strength boosting items. It might be one of the few games that didn't. So, while I am tempted to make the obligatory joke about mushrooms and not eating them, our best bet is to actually take it to the witch. We'll switch that. And make sure to use the Y button to give it to it. Head in here just to top up our health. But leave the screen and come back and you can find the item in the hut. I'm not sure if this is how it works in the regular game. I can't quite remember because I usually left it there and then came back after the first dungeon. Okay, so we basically pushed mushrooms for someone and got money. But plenty more places have opened up to us. Namely, we can get into the Desert Palace, and there are also some items we can get in the Misery Mire. I think we shall do that in the next episode. This is about a good length to wrap it all up. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.